him about it. And I gave him a heads up because when I followed him in, I realized one of his brake lights was out. I was like, "Did you know one of your brake lights is out?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, your driver's side brake light is out, dude." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that."
Yeah.
It was cool though, like seeing there's 2 McLarens, the Maserati Gran Turismo, Ferrari 308 GTS. Were all there. There was an original Mini Cooper. That was hilarious because it wouldn't start when he went to leave, and then once he got it started, it was just burning oil the whole way. You could see the blue smoke pouring out of it, and I'm like, typical British car.
Yeah. Bad teeth, bad seals.
Just well, I kept laughing to him. I told him, I was like, you got to get a recliner and a mop and some rope so you can drive it, sit up on top, and Mr. Bean. And it's like, I think that
put an aerator on the back that releases cat litter to clean up the oil.
It was funny, but there was an AutoZam AZ1 there.
Oh.
That's that little purple one that has the gull wing doors and stuff. It's a K car that AutoZam decided they were going to make a K car, but they were going to make it sporty. So as sporty as you can make a K car. So it's got
it's a little K car with gull wings.
Gull wings, and technically it's mid-engine. Even though the engine's like 35 horsepower. It is technically mid-engine. But me and the McLaren owners were laughing, and the Maserati owner, we were all standing there and we were laughing because we're like, most people except for us probably don't realize that's literally the rarest car here.
Yeah.
They only made like 300 of those, and they were all JDM, and they're very uncommon now. And obviously they never sold them in the US. So seeing one in the US is super rare. So like I was looking at that. Like, and so were the guys who own the McLarens. Like, we're all standing there looking at this tiny little AutoZam. Meanwhile, there's a Maserati, an Alfa Romeo, a Ferrari, and 2 McLarens.
Yep.
And all of the drivers of those cars, we're all overlooking at this tiny little AutoZam.
Tiny little purple car with gull wing doors.
Because they're super rare. They're super rare. And it was really, really cool to see one in person. I've never seen one in person before. So that was really, really neat. There was quite a few. We expected like 40 cars to show up. 125.
Wow. Was this the first
showed up?
The
very first one.
The first Coffee and Cars?
Yeah. Very first one that we done here. And 125 cars showed up. It filled the entire parking lot of the shopping center thing where the coffee place was. And then we had to start filling in the office building next door's parking lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back through and look at more pictures that you posted.
Yeah, there's so many. There's a ton of Mustangs, and I kept laughing about, well, if they decide to leave, make sure that there's nobody anywhere near the road. Everybody hide when the Mustangs leave. The interest of safety.
Look out, the 289s are coming through.
And it's just, well, because they're so notorious for going, and then crashing into crowds. So it's just, but the one guy, he's got that yellow McLaren 720S. It's got like a gold flake in the paint, like in the clear. He said it's a $10,000 option.
A $10,000 option.
Option. 10 grand. Yeah. And I laughed too. And I asked him, I was like, oh, what about because it has the electrochromatic roof in it. So it's glass. And when it comes up, which takes like 6 seconds, by the way, to have the roof come up. It's crazy. But roof comes on and he's like, it's clear glass. You push this button and it turns black so that it's opaque.
Nice.
And he's like, isn't that cool? And I'm like, dude, that is amazing. And like, he's showing all the cool stuff with the car to everybody and talking about it. And as this is all going on, my daughter and Lindsay are standing behind me, and she turns and looks at Lindsay and goes, I figured it out. Car guys are just big kids. And Lindsay went, you're just noticing that?
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Yes. Like, what's the meme floating around? It says, introduce your kids to cars at a young age, and they'll never have money for drugs.
Oh, that's true. Oh, is that true? Oh my God. It's
Yes.
so true. And there was a ton of cars. It was really funny though, too, because like as we're standing there, we're all talking cars and everything, and the McLaren guys had started their McLarens and revved them up so you could hear them, which is gorgeous.
Oh,
and
Nut.
it just brap, brap, brap.
No.
But then as we're standing there, a Tesla Model S Plaid pulls in, and we all just go, ugh, and just glare at it as it goes by. Excuse me, sir. This is the cult of petroleum. I need you to go ahead and just take your little environmental race car the hell out of here.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the carbon footprint required to create that car is like 6 times as much as the carbon footprint created to produce a gasoline engine vehicle.
Technically, you could argue that the McLarens are reducing their own carbon footprint because they're made out of carbon fiber. So they are locking up carbon
there you go.
in order to produce them. Ultimately, they're environmentally friendly.
You heard it here on Anarchy, Monk friends. We recommend the McLaren because it is carbon friendly.
Not the, what was it that you said, it's the 640 or something, or 650 that they're recalling because they burst into flames.
Yeah.
Like at random. When will supercar designers realize that self-immolation is not in fact a feature that people look for in their automobiles? Because this is not the first one. There's the 458 Italia, the GT3 RS, the 918 Spider, the Fisker Karma.
They just need to name one the Memento Mori. It'll be fine.
Just, boom. Yes, this is
it's
new
not,
from
it's
from Ferrari.
It's not a matter of if. It's not a matter of if. Just that's the whole slogan. That's the whole slogan for the vehicle. It's just the vehicle. It just says it's not a matter of if.
It's new from Ferrari, the Dante. And
this color is Inferno Red.
Yeah. Why are there so many fire extinguishers in this car? Oh, you'll find out.
Those ghost flames are so lifelike.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm really dying in a horrific fire.
I'm just gonna put on this VR headset and disappear.
Yeah, it's because there's like the Fisker Karma did it. The Teslas are doing it constantly, just bursting into flames.
What was it? It takes an average. It takes an average of like 85,000 gallons to put out a Tesla fire.
Yeah, because they burn so much hotter.
Because it burns hotter, and it burns because it's electrical fire, right? So it doesn't react to water the same way.
It's a lithium fire, and when you add water to a lithium fire, you actually make it hotter and you make it worse. So you have to burn out all the lithium and get it to react.
Yeah, and there's 2 or 3 stories that I saw where Tesla caught on fire, and they used a truck to push the Tesla into a swimming pool in order to put it out, and they had a tow truck try to pull it out like 12 hours later, and it burst back into flames.
Yep.
And they had to leave it in this person's swimming pool for like 3 days. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but hey, it's more environmentally friendly.
Yeah, it starts off with 6 times the carbon footprint of your car.
Yeah, and then when it burns, it's then belching all of those toxic fumes back into the atmosphere.
Yep.
Yeah.
And don't forget the slave labor involved in the lithium.
Yeah, the lithium mining is massively slave labor.
So that's what that's what the Tesla S stands for. Tesla.
Slave labor. Not all lithium mining is slave labor, though. There is huge lithium deposits in Venezuela.
Yeah.
So, you could, rather than supporting slave labor, you could be supporting a human rights violating despot.
They just found a large deposit of lithium out in Nevada, like the Nevada-California border. Yeah. But that's going to be 14 times the cost to extract because it's not
because
a
it's
despotic regime that's not paying anybody anything, or
it's not a despotic regime yet.
Yeah.
And
We have
it does-
we have an article about that.
The century is young.
We have an article coming up in a few minutes that we'll get to that. But first, I think we should start the podcast because we're like 10 minutes in now. So,
yeah, probably.
yeah. Hello. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Anarchy Among Friends Roundtable Discussion. Before we get started, again, let me remind you that we are covered by the BIPCOT No Government License, which allows for the use and the reuse of this podcast by anyone and everyone except for governments and the bludgies thereof. You can learn more about that at bipcot.org. That's BIPCOT.org. We're also covered by Brandenburg v. Ohio 1969, which ruled that the government cannot punish inflammatory speech unless that speech is, quote, directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such action. Therefore, everything said here on Anarchy Among Friends Roundtable Discussion is entirely hypothetical. This is episode 226, which I titled "Emotional Support Strippers." So we're just gonna
I
jump.
need some of those.
We're just gonna jump right into that article because I used it in the title and I shouldn't have because it kind of gave it away. So we're just gonna jump right into that one. Yeah.
No, you can't kick these strippers out. They're my emotional support strippers. I have papers. they have.
They're properly trained and everything.
I'm just
support. They have support animal on on their thongs.
Ask the pet.
Yeah, ask
the
pet. You're not supposed to pet strippers.
Oh. Oh, yes.
And we've started with the derailment already. It only goes downhill from here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not gonna get any better.
But it's uphill both ways in the snow, barefoot.
On fire because you were in an electric car.
Yeah. Speaking of snow, Mammoth Mountain in California, right, just north of Yosemite, has extended its ski season through the first week of August.
Holy shit!
Like they still have enough snow on Mammoth Mountain that they have lifts open and they're still grading runs.
Well, wasn't it Mammoth Mountain? They got like 700 inches or something like that.
715 at the lodge. Yes. They said that's almost 20 feet. No, that's almost 60 feet.
Yeah, it's almost 60. That's 59 and a half feet
at the lodge.
Snow.
At the lodge.
Not gonna lie, I would still take that over 110 degrees.
Yes. Fuck mosquitoes.
No, I'd rather the heat.
And the upper end of some of the runs, where the lifts are, they actually had to dig out the lifts in order for them to be used.
Can you imagine being on a ski lift that is, as it's going up, only like 6 inches off of the ground because they had to just dig out a trench for you to ride up there?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God.
Yes. There's, we got so much snow that farmers in the Central Valley are not using well water at all this year. They're actually adding to the aquifer this year
for the first time in what, 30 years?
Something like that. The lake, in Southern California, or it's like North Central or South Central California, there's a lake that disappeared like 30 years ago because it was used for water for Southern California. That lake actually came back, and the lake is almost as big as Lake Tahoe.
Holy crap!
Yeah, and it buried like 11,000 acres of farmland. Yeah.
Can you imagine losing your farm that you've been farming for the past 30 years because it's now in the middle of a lake?
Under 30 feet of water in some places.
And you're just like, well, Don't think anything's gonna grow there now.
Anybody got any catfish seeds?
Yeah.
No. But yeah, some of those farmers out there with all that going on, they could use an emotional support stripper.
Who
Right?
couldn't really?
I mean,
yeah.
just saying, like emotional support dogs are cool. Emotional support cats, emotional support. I've seen potbelly pigs, mini donkeys, right? Things like that. But I'm just saying, like, if I had an emotional support stripper, I would probably be a lot better off mentally.
I mean, it would certainly make flights easier.
It would make everything easier.
I'm so upset. I need candy.
Yes, but yes, U.S.
Where's juice box?
But no, they say, all right, well, we got to go down below and get her out of the cargo hold because she's with the others emotionally.
It's in a crate.
Come here, I got you a new collar. I got you a new collar.
That means something totally different.
Shh, don't.
I mean, that's my kind of emotional.
Don't ruin my
stripper.
fantasy.
Well, yeah, it's.
No. Tell her to sit. Good girl. her treats are chicken nuggets. Yeah. All right. We're going.
No, her treats are those little mini bottles of like Seagrams.
There you go.
Look what I got you. I got you.
The only catch is you got to make sure that she stays in contact with Aiden, Jaden, and Braden.
Yeah, Hayden, Aiden, Jaden, and Braden.
Yep.
Oh, come on. She's not a CNA.
She's a dental hygienist. U.S. influencer works as emotional support stripper in Ukraine. An Instagram influencer who shipped out to help Ukraine amid the ongoing bloody war with Russia has found her niche aiding soldiers and volunteers as a, quote, emotional support stripper. Fan Pei Kyung of Houston, Texas, created an OnlyFans account that is free for Ukrainian soldiers and volunteers, where she describes herself as, quote, a globe-trotting girlfriend now volunteering in Kharkiv. The 33-year-old bombshell, whose content includes videos of strip teases as air raid sirens blare and shirtless photos with rocket launchers, does everything from, quote, free emotional breastfeeding to soldiers and volunteers, to distributing cash donations to Ukrainians and volunteers, according to her OnlyFans profile, which states proceeds go toward her humanitarian efforts.
Soldiers need Hummers. Support the cause.
That's right. But not the diesel kind.
I mean, she's not really all that attractive either, but
no,
beggars can't be choosers.
Yes,
you know.
She told the Daily Beast, quote, "I'm the sexy girl in Ukraine who wants to volunteer and will probably put out." The 2015 Miss Taiwanese American pageant competitor first headed to Ukraine in November 2022 to volunteer and assist refugees working at women's shelters and orphanages in Lviv City, a city in the western part of the country far from the Western lines. To work, however, wasn't all that different from her job experience back home, which pushed Kyung to look into assisting the military directly.
A whole different kind of trench warfare.
Hold on. Kyung, who also won first prize in the NASA Space Health Challenge in 2014, moved to Ukraine full-time in February. She has since volunteered in the volatile eastern Donbass region by bringing water to those still living in bombed-out towns and offering emotional support to English-speaking soldiers while she learns Ukraine. Quote, "It's a little soft core diplomacy I'm bringing."
Soft core diplomacy.
Everyone sending their strongest and finest. I wandered in and was like, quote, Hey, what's up? Want to talk? I'll give you a massage.
Happy ending. She is from Taiwan, so I suppose this makes sense.
Yes.
Just
Through her volunteer work on the ground, Kyung struck up various romantic relationships with the men she's met and is currently dating a Ukrainian drone operator, a power plant worker, and 2 information technology workers.
well, at least they're getting their rifles cleaned on a regular basis. So
Internet. that took me a second. Yeah, she's playing with the joystick.
Gotta make sure that it's properly lubricated.
Well, there's not going to be any following in that one.
Oh, international soldiers are also on the table. Kyung struck up a relationship with a fighter from the United Kingdom who had been a member of a group of soldiers she comforted when they suffered casualties in Donbass. Quote, I'm there talking with him for 6 hours about how he's coping, his relationship issues. I feel so safe with this guy. At some point, I was holding him and stroking his hair, and he said, I feel precious like a kitten. I haven't been touched in 2 years. Yeah.
I
Yep.
honestly,
Hold on.
Can I just point out?
Give me a paragraph and a half.
Yeah, I just want to point out that we very clearly, the United States truly is shipping all of our used equipment over to Ukraine.
Her raunchy activities haven't been warmly received by everyone, with some Western volunteers in a group chat blasting Kyung for joking about looking for a good time with Ukrainian men. Quote, these guys just tore me for 3 straight days.
Oh my God.
Quote, I think there's a couple hundred people in the group, and they said, you want to make porn off of mass graves? Oh, she still believes she's providing a vital service to the soldiers that's often overlooked.
Well, yeah, I mean, keep in mind that although General Hooker during the American Civil War did not have the greatest record as a general in terms of combat, he did have pretty good troop morale, and that is important. So
violence is also an aphrodisiac.
You have to wonder, does she also make sure that she has hearts carved into the heels of her boots? Like
there's a picture of her in a vest, and you can see the very hilt of a knife sticking out.
Because that's good.
Yeah. Quote, people don't talk about the sexual needs of the people of a country at war, she says. Think about the one part of you that needs to have a person you can confide in. I try to do that for anyone who speaks English or Ukrainian at a 3-year-old level.
Okay, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
however, I mean, based on the I feel precious like a kitten quote, like, one, that says a lot about the kinds of people who are volunteering in Ukraine. Second of all, does she also wear cat ears and uwu?
See the tip of the knife?
Yep. I mean, just the kind of, I mean, and it's the kind of guys who would be attracted to her. They're also the kind of guys who are probably wearing like Pokemon morale patches and like My Little Pony. And
well, I mean, in a war zone, right, where you're living by, living by the bullet. What's the term? Any port to storm.
Any port, yeah.
Any port to storm. So,
I mean, it ain't the Death Star, but you could enter that exhaust port.
By the time she gets out of there, she goes to pass gas. It's just gonna come out as a. Whoo!
Oh.
Like, I just at this point, I don't even. Only in the 21st century could a war like the war in Ukraine happen with this level of just complete insanity. Now, I agree with her that like people don't talk enough about the sexual proclivities of soldiers in combat because it's a long storied history of hookers.
But yeah, it's a big part of like the movie Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, well, I mean, even like World War One, it got the
General Hooker story. Yeah.
That's the Civil War, the American Civil War. But no, in World War One, I mean, there was basically entire towns in France near the lines that were populated by nothing but hookers and brothels.
Yeah,
and I mean, because it's legal in France, and so they were plying their trade, and it was very important to the point where, like, when a lot of them got scared from the lines shifting a little bit, on both sides, the military commanders were like, okay, we need to find more hookers.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of them are leaving, and we need to replace them because we need to keep the population up.
You've got to keep the morale up too.
Well, yeah, and that's what it's about. I mean, there's a reason why, like, a typical section of information that would get released to soldiers, both showing up on the Western Front, World War I, and showing up in Europe during World War II, was specifically like pamphlets on venereal disease, because like hookers are a big thing in war. They're everywhere. She just happens to be a slightly more visible one.
Yeah, and let's not forget, she flew from Houston to Ukraine to be a part of this.
Yeah, she made the active decision to go do this.
Right. It's not like Texas was invaded and she's doing this, for C card rations or something. Right. For MREs or whatever. So this is something she voluntarily chose to do. Right. She flew to a literal war zone to do this, to become an emotional support stripper.
I mean, I've always wanted to get banged on a tank, so
yeah, there's not enough room inside it. You got to do it on it.
Depending on the tank, there might just be, and how flexible she is. It's possible, but
Andrew speaking from experience.
It's possible. Just all of a sudden the turret winds up just going in circles. And
she starts moaning. You're on the joystick.
Yeah, would you? Tank starts backing up. No, hey, move.
Well, I mean, there were a lot of stories too going with that theme back in Vietnam, where they hire cruise ships to come and park off the coast, and you can't tell me the staff of those cruise ships weren't, intentionally all young, attractive women.
Well, yeah. It's a good way to make money, man. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you're gonna make bank. Not in Ukraine necessarily, because obviously they don't have any money, but
a cruise ship on a USO tour.
They have our money.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not like getting paid to do it in general, like the volunteers and so they're not actually getting paid for this. They're just there. So you're not going to make any money off of them. But
if she is making money, does that qualify her as a private military contractor?
Well, it is all about the privates.
The P and PMC means something else entirely now.
Right.
I don't know why. This story just tickled me and it made me laugh really good, and I had to share it with you guys.
Or perhaps the C means something. It's private military something.
The C stands for chlamydia.
Surprise!
Yeah. Penicillin, meningitis, and chlamydia.
Yeah, that's. I mean, hey, more power to her, but like,
it is the world's oldest profession, right?
Yeah,
it is the world's oldest profession. right? And it has always existed. It will probably always exist.
Oh yeah,
right. And there will always be people that seek to take advantage of situations, right, for their own personal gain, right? I'm sure she's has a lot of followers for that reason, right? And I'm sure her social media following is increasing because of this.
I mean, it's a smart business move, but I mean, also too, it's like realistically, she is offering a needed service. I just can't get over that. I feel like a precious kitten. Like, what the hell? I mean, that sounds about right for the SAS, but I'm just saying, like,
and there's also huge potential for this to be a one of those fang type of situations, right? With what's his face, the senator who was sleeping with the Chinese spy. You know what I'm talking about? Swalwell. Yeah, Eric Swalwell. What Fang, right? That was her name.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I mean, she could be a legit military asset at this point.
Well, yeah. I mean, don't forget the Russians are quite familiar with doing exactly that. They had the Sparrow School.
Yeah.
So, they're really well versed in that. Speaking of which, I still haven't seen Red Sparrow, but I know I definitely need to because I'm aware of some scenes in that involving Jennifer Lawrence, and I really need to see that movie for academic reasons.
It's a good movie. I will say the books are better, but you don't quite get the visuals, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'd really rather the visuals with Jennifer Lawrence.
And that's fair.
No. Oh, okay. Have we topped off this article?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we finished.
We finished with this article. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm just glad we didn't beat around the bush on that one and just went right up.
Went straight for it.
Yeah. I mean, we dove into it pretty hard.
Yeah.
There really wasn't any playing around beforehand.
Yeah. As long as we rammed that home.
Soft kitty, little ball of fur. Are weapons sent to Ukraine ending up in the hands of drug cartels? Did you guys see this one?
I did, and it doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, no, that's what. Like there were literally goods that were left in Afghanistan that popped up on the secondhand market, right? On like the international secondhand market websites, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, and I mean, there's when that guy that's the danger tourist or whatever, when he went to Afghanistan, the Taliban were actively trying to convince him to buy Mark 19s and stuff, and he's like, I don't have any need for that, but thanks. As long as you can get me some of them white cheetahs, man. Need the white cheetahs.
Yes. A Mexican TV report alleged drug cartels and other criminal organizations were illegally buying rocket launchers sent to Ukraine by the West. A video clip taken from a news segment in Mexico has been widely shared on social media, alleging to show a cartel member carrying a weapon destined for Ukraine. Quote, in the state of Talopolis, I think that's how I pronounce Talopolis, an alleged member of
Tamaulipas. I don't know the names of the Mexican states.
I think the M is silent. Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
In a state in Mexico, an alleged member of the Gulf Cartel was recorded carrying one of the most exclusive and powerful weapons, a javelin, which has been used during the invasion of Ukraine with a value between $20,000 and $60,000. Says the anchor in a clip.
Not me?
Because you're not a OnlyFans influencer and you don't work for a cartel.
It's funny how your career choices can limit your potential.
Yeah, that's true. This has led to 120 users claiming weapons sent by the West have been sold to the black market to Mexico cartels and other criminal organizations around the world. Quote, it turns out that the U.S. military weapons that we sent to Ukraine, including Javelin anti-tank missiles and missile launchers, are ending up in the hands of Mexican drug cartels south of our border. This is an embarrassment, tweeted Vivek Ramaswamy, a candidate for the 2024 Republican Party presidential primaries.
It's also not a surprise considering you're talking about Eastern European countries that are historically incredibly corrupt.
Well, not only that, but like you're relying on people going through, shady third-party people, right? Like we talked, like the Merchant of Death just happens to get released, right as the U.S. starts sending weapons to Ukraine.
Well, yeah, and it's, I mean, and we have no, and they have acknowledged, we have no actual control on who the end user is on those weapons.
Yes, there's no private so-and-so signs out, rifle XYZ. Like that's right. Not happening. That's not happening.
So we have no control over that. And Ukraine has a bunch of ports.
A lot of ports. Black Sea is right there.
Yeah, and I mean, not just talking about the strippers.
Yeah, and it's not like Russia would be opposed to shady dealings to move weaponry out of Ukraine. So, like,
yeah, and Ukraine is a huge exporter of various things, of fertilizer, of natural gas, of chemicals, of some minerals, things like that. So Ukraine has ships leaving all the time, right? There's also huge trade routes going from Ukraine into Western Europe, and then also going down into the Persian Gulf.
Yep.
So, just saying.
Well, and I love that their argument in this article it's misleading because it's not a Javelin, it's an AT-4, which the U.S. also sent huge numbers of to Ukraine.
Yep.
And yes, AT-4s are way cheaper than Javelins. I don't see how that's an argument with this not having come from Ukraine.
Yeah, which are the AT-4 is manufactured in Sweden.
Yep, Saab.
Yep. Which is right there. So, but yeah, that was the whole argument. Is it's not a Javelin, it's an AT-4.
It's like, yeah, that's still a weapon America is sending a whole bunch of to Ukraine, and Saab sold a ton of them to Ukraine.
Yes.
The AT-4 is actually basically right alongside the RPG-7 as the most popular shoulder-fired rocket system, like, in the world. So, realistically, yeah, the AT-4 could have come from anywhere, but I bet you there's only one place that's shipping them right now.
Yeah, isn't the AT-4 a fly-by-wire?
No, it's a shoot, and it's just a dumbfire, but it's a single-use tube.
Yeah, shoot and scoop.
You flip two little things up, a couple of other little doohickeys you got to do, and then bang! And
yeah, I've seen AT-4 tubes turned in at gun buybacks,
which is hilarious because they're like $75 useless pieces of steel. I would love like four of them to weld together and turn into a table.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be neat. Unfortunately, they're really hard to find right now, those empty tubes.
Use an AT-4 tube and put it as a heat shield for a side exhaust.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Do like a Shelby Cobra with that down the side.
I don't know if you do Cobra.
Yeah, do Cobra like you paint like khaki green and put some big white stars on it. And
there you go.
And then promptly hit a bald eagle.
Yeah, America.
Yeah. Oh. And then you get a patch made after you.
Yeah, but I mean, like the funny thing is like if you read through the rest of that, like the rest of that article's argument is essentially, well, it's an AT-4, and well, we don't have any evidence.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's an AT-4 is already evidence.
Yes, I mean it's like the Gulf cartel is not a nation state, right? I'm putting out right. It's not a nation state. It's a cartel, right? It's a large militant organization, right? It's not technically the government, or it's not recognized internationally as the government. So how are they buying AT4s?
Yeah,
the
isn't it
same
funny
way
that they
the
start
same way
getting
they
that
bought
stuff?
the government of Mexico.
Yeah, well, it's whether or not they needed to buy the government of Mexico, because it was probably already in the hands of the CIA anyway, who helped him and
Well,
ultimately probably
that's
ordered the
fair.
murder of Kiki Camarena back in the 80s. But anyway,
Yep.
hashtag
Operation Wide Receiver.
The the whole thing though is like, yeah, right after they released the Merchant of Death, who took forever for them to capture. Just this massive international operation to lure him out. Right after they do that, suddenly AT4s start showing up in the hands of the Mexican cartels.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen the Mexican cartels with RPG-7s for a long time.
Yeah.
Right, and they got RPG-7. They got tubes. We've seen that for a long time, and a lot of those were shipped to Central America as part of like the Contra programs and the anti-cartel programs in Central America. So it's easy to get those, right? And then you can also get those out of China. RPG-7 is really common weapon. An AT4 is not that common of a weapon.
Yeah.
Right.
So
it's very much not a common weapon. It's an AT4. I mean, that Saab will not sell them to anybody who is not a military. Just flat out, they won't do it.
Will they even sell to non-NATO?
Yeah. Well, Sweden isn't NATO.
Yeah, they are.
Not NATO.
Are they?
They just joined.
Oh yeah,
they just joined.
Yeah, they just joined, but they hadn't been NATO until just now.
Yeah.
They didn't care. They'd sell to pretty much anybody. It's just that in general they wouldn't sell to the Eastern Bloc because they really, really, really don't like Russia. Yeah. They have a minor history that you may have heard of.
Kind of like the Finns, right?
Yeah, a little bit of a history. So they're not big fans. So I can see that. I mean, it's possible that those are AT-4s that were left behind in Afghanistan that they were able to obtain. That's distinctly possible.
If the U.S. left AT-4s in Afghanistan,
would you be surprised?
Well, we know for sure that they left.
I'm not even convinced at this point in time that they actually quote left them.
They sold them.
They put them there and left them on purpose because right now the Taliban is fucking with Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and the Taliban has not been behaving now the way the Taliban used to be behaving. So
they've almost entirely eliminated the poppies in Afghanistan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like the Taliban retook power and eliminated the drug trade in the country,
which was their primary source of income before.
Yeah. So where are they getting their money now?
Yeah. Can't imagine.
Can't imagine. There's no way the U.S. would sponsor a terrorist organizations like the Taliban to do its bidding.
It definitely, certainly not in Afghanistan.
It makes me think of that habitual line crosser where he's talking about the Wagner coup, potential coup in Russia. It's like the CIA pops up and is like, "Yes, we are wondering where this came from too.
Yeah, where did this $6 billion go? I can't imagine where that could have gone." And suddenly Wagner is rebelling.
Yeah.
What a completely unrelated coincidence.
Yeah, the Taliban. Mubarak and Gaddafi have entered the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is like, you got to remember too, though, that like, it's really easy to convince some of those groups, if they're Arab, to fight against Iran because Iran is Persian.
Yes.
And the Arabs really, really, really don't like the Persians. There's a history there that you may be familiar with the whole Ottoman Empire thing, and
just 5,000 years of tribal warfare. It's fine. It's not.
It's you may have heard of some of the issues between.
There's no bad blood.
Yeah.
There's no bad blood.
There's borders. There's borders now. Everything's fine. There's borders
that weren't, purposely drawn to create conflict.
Sykes-Picot.
They need. You know what they need? They just need emotional support strippers.
Send emotional. I don't think that's gonna go well.
The closest thing
it goes over fantastic in Dubai.
Well, yeah, but
Dubai's not as principled. I know.
Yeah.
The
only way they're going to get anywhere near emotional support strippers is they're going to have people picking up the bottom of their hijab so you can see their ankles.
Okay. Forgive me.
You're forgiven.
Their emotional support stripper is when they shear the sheep.
That's fair.
Oh.
Bat means no.
Yeah, bat means no.
Oh.
Dubai doesn't really count as like an Arab place because the UAE basically like exempts Dubai from all of its laws. Like for the most, like you can buy alcohol in Dubai. So
you can buy emotional support strippers in Dubai.
Probably.
You can.
It's just one of many things you can buy in Dubai.
There's a lot of things you can acquire in Dubai that you can't acquire basically anywhere else in the Middle East.
My favorite place in Dubai.
AKs.
Yeah, I was just gonna say my favorite place in Dubai is there is a store in Dubai that only sells gold-plated firearms. Like gold-plated with like inlaid diamonds and all this other stuff. And they have signs up there like makes a great wedding gift. And things, and it's like, I mean, yeah, I would be happy to get one as a wedding gift, but
just saying, one would look really nice riding shotgun in your car. The gold and dark blue play off really each other really nice.
It would look really good. I mean, they actually have one. I saw a photo of one that was there where it's gold, it's rose gold. And then it actually has ebony wood for the furniture. And it is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm like, I bet that's cheap. Oh my God. I can't even. Good Lord.
World's most expensive AK.
Yeah, it's insane. I cannot believe some of that stuff. But like, but what I was saying though is like the Arabs really, really hate the Persian. It does not take a lot to get Arab terrorists to attack Iran. It just kind of takes a little bit of money and some weapons and a nudge, and then they're like, okay, and they're like jihad, and off they go. And there's so it wouldn't surprise me.
And you don't have to convince all the fighters either. You only have to convince a few of the higher ups. And the the higher ups go, this is a holy war. And everybody's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. A half dozen imams on your side. And you have an entire terrorist organization doing your bidding at that point. Yeah. So it would not surprise me if the agency
blow up now.
They're celebrating that other Muslim holiday, Kaboom.
Yeah. 72 emotional support versions.
It's what is that line? I always hear about terrorist masterminds. Masterminds kind of a lofty way to describe what these guys do, right? Like all they kind of do is like you take a bomb, right? And then you put it backpack and you get on bus and you blow yourself up. Yeah. Why do I have to blow myself up? Why can't I just leave the backpack on the Hey, who is the mastermind here? Me or you? Like
oh.
You must blow yourself up for the glory of Allah.
Ted Kaczynski's going, this motherfucker's spitting. Oh, okay.
Are we actually still live on YouTube? I'm surprised if we are.
Okay, cocaine sharks might be feasting on drugs dumped off Florida coast, scientists say.
Because the bear wasn't bad enough, you had to go to sharks.
Now I'm waiting for the horrible crossover between Cocaine Bear and Sharknado.
Oh, we have a crack coon that's coming out here pretty soon. That's the raccoon on crack.
Cocaine.
Is it actually just kind of a play off of Hunter Biden, or?
Oh,
Oof.
Yes.
The funny thing is like if they went with cocaine and now they're going with crack, if the next one is heroin, though, it'll be a really lame one because everything will just be laying there, like just faded, and it'll be like
it's just 97 minutes of a person trying to catch an animated dragon.
You saw Cocaine Bear and Crackoon and Cocaine Sharknado. Now get ready for DMT Squirrel. It's just sitting there staring at.
Wouldn't they have to go through meth first before they get there?
That exists. Meth cat sort of thing. The only line in the DMT Squirrel is just Joe Rogan going, "Whoa."
Yeah. And the squirrel's just like hunched down on the tree branch, just staring at everything. Like, whoa. An hour and a half of just that.
We're getting awful close to Idiocracy territory here. The movie Ass.
You know, that actually would be a really fun video game, like DMT Squirrel, where you're like controlling a squirrel through his hallucinations. That could actually be entertaining.
Oh, Derek would be snorting so hard.
They already have the cat simulator and the goat simulator, so why not DMT Squirrel Simulator?
Oh. Eagle Simulator trying to avoid windshields.
It'd just be an updated version of Flappy Bird.
There you go.
It's Camaros.
Oh, is that basically the movie Over the Hedge, just a video game? Yeah. All right. The DMT squirrel trying to avoid truck tires.
They like morph into monsters as they come up. You're like,
Oh.
With the whole updated version of Flappy Bird, you'd occasionally have to throw an airborne cub plane at him too, because apparently I saw that video the other day.
Yeah,
where Andrew apparently got his pilot's license.
That dude looks so unimpressed with his day.
This is the Mondayest Monday of ever Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, so sharks lurking off Florida's coast, maybe eating bundles of cocaine dumped in the ocean by U.S.-bound drug smugglers, and scientists want to find out why. With the massive amount of drugs washing up on the beaches and being pulled out of the ocean by authorities each year, marine biologist Tom Hurd wanted to investigate whether or not sharks had ingested cocaine as part of the new TV series Cocaine Sharks, which will premiere during Discovery Channel's beloved Shark Week next week.
You know, that is, I think, the new name for any like tribe or anything that I do in online video games is the Cocaine Sharks. It's just gonna be like a hammerhead with one eye bigger than the other, and
gonna change your pronouns to Cocaine Shark.
Cocaine and shark.
I self-identify as a cocaine shark. Oh, it'd be a hammered head. In the program hand in the University of Florida environmental scientist Tracy Fanara conduct a number of experiments on sharks off the Florida Keys, where fishermen have reportedly told tales about drug-addicted fish. Quote, the deeper story here...
Grouper tasty, apparently.
Best grouper ever.
You know, hold on. That's actually a thing, because in Washington there are legal cannabis farms, right? They don't use the stalks. So the farmers, the ranchers, buy the stalks and feed the stalks because of the high nutrition value of the cannabis plants. and feed those to their cows, and it does alter the flavor of the meat. And they say that it is one of the best tasting meats on the planet.
I'm really curious now.
I
gotta
say I
know.
believe that.
Yes.
Is it true? Like, does that happen? Because I know giving them beer works for the Japanese. So it's like a new kind of wagyu.
With the wagyu, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. Oh.
I'm down to give it a try.
Yes.
Can of beef.
Can of beef? Yes.
Can of
Can of
beef?
beef.
Yes. Quote, the deeper story here is the way the chemicals, pharmaceuticals, and illicit drugs are entering our waterways, entering our oceans, and what effect that they could go on to have on these delicate ocean ecosystems.
There's already high concentrations of antidepressants and shit in the water. So
we have they did a study here in the Bay Area 7 or 8 years ago, and every municipal source had measurable amounts of antidepressants and fertility drugs, and then measurable amounts of a few different illegal narcotics.
Neat.
Yeah, it's fantastic. That's why I filter everything.
Yeah.
Heard and Fontana dove underwater and noticed some sharks acting strangely in the episode. A hammerhead shark, a species that typically shies away from humans, darted right at them and appeared to be swimming askew. At 60 feet below the surface, a sandbar shark was seen swimming in tight circles, apparently fixated on an object that was not there.
Gotta get the fish. The fish is right there. I gotta get the fish, man.
Yes.
There's a fish. There's a fish. It's right there. I gotta get it. I gotta get the fish. It's right there. It's mocking me, man. It's mocking me. There's a fish there. I gotta get the fish.
Next, they tested how sharks reacted to the packages they dropped in the water that were similar in size and shape to the cocaine bundles. In the experiment, they placed the fake bales next to dummy swans that were shocked to watch sharks head directly for the bales and take bites out of them, with one shark even swimming away with one. Heard and Fontana then attempted to ethically recreate the physical rush of cocaine with a highly concentrated ball of fish powder to trigger a massive dopamine response from the sharks. The sharks can be seen going wild, according to Live Science. Quote, I think we've got a potential scenario of what it may look like if you give sharks cocaine. We gave them
that is one of the greatest sentences ever uttered in the history of television.
We gave them what I think is the next best thing. It set their brains aflame. It was crazy. For the next experiments, they dropped imitation bales of cocaine from an airplane to simulate how the drugs might actually get into the shark system. Multiple shark species made a beeline for the fakes. So, yes, we have cocaine sharks in the Florida Keys.
That hammerhead's like, Joe Rogan, something you might not know about me.
We have cocaine sharks in the Florida Keys.
That's one of the most Florida things ever, actually.
It is. Does it out Florida man though?
I don't know. There's Florida shark now is kind of a thing. I
mean, it's the right place for it to be happening.
I cannot even begin to imagine trying to deal with a fiending tiger shark.
That's the problem. Jaws happened off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard, elitist, right? It's full of the upper echelon, right? And those people, they were cocaine freaks. That's what happened. That's why Jaws was so angry, is because it was addicted to cocaine.
I just got a picture of the final scene from Scarface, but with like a basking shark.
Say hello to my little friend.
Just like leaning back in the chair with the giant pile of cocaine. Because he's basking, he's basking.
Yeah. Now we know why Nemo's fin was all fucked up. Right?
Birth defect from the coke.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
and the coke tracks because Nemo swam up and touched the butt. Right.
yeah. He's being reckless because he was
Yeah.
high. Nemo
Yeah.
was high as hell.
Yeah.
Heard it here first, folks. We figured it out. Conspiracy cracked.
Yeah, and that's why Dory couldn't remember anything because of the withdrawals. It had fucked up the chemical makeup of her brain.
I have met some people like that. We were like, wow, you did a lot of drugs. Like,
Yes.
you'll talk to them and they're just like, what? Yeah. Like, are you high? No. And you're like, you're probably not. This is just your brain now.
Yeah. And the other guy, Fisher friend or Bruce, Fisher Friends Not Foods.
Yeah.
He's a recovering addict. He's an AA.
Yeah. I have to wonder though.
That just changed that entire movie. That movie tracks for me.
That's all because of
cocaine. That's why that dude that fish wanted to get out of the tank so bad. He was fiending. He had to get back into the ocean.
Or you know what? Just looking at him, I bet you that dude was a dealer, and he was worried that his empire was falling apart.
Ooh, he had the scars to prove it. You know.
Yeah,
the real question is what is the difference between the current and the rest of the ocean, where they're all coked out in the rest of the ocean, but everybody on the current is high as a kite.
That's why the turtle was so chill.
Yeah, because he's just completely ripped.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Turtle was my dad.
He was on the seaweed, bro.
If that turtle did not have at least 2 Sublime albums.
Smoke 2 jellyfish in the morning. Smoke 2 jellyfish at night.
Well, we know that dolphins will suck on pufferfish to get high.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
it tracks. It tracks. Cocaine sharks are a thing.
Cocaine sharks, stone dolphins. I mean, dude, the ocean seems like a party. Mm-hmm. And look at the colors down there. You know they're all on like Molly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, why all the colors? So
true. Yeah. That's why the turtles keep getting caught in like the fishing lines and stuff. Right? It's because they're high. They can't drive straight.
Oh no! Oh, look, I'm Spider-Man. Oh.
Oh, we're bad people.
No, we're not.
And I'm okay with that. Oh, speaking of drugs and bad people,
it's gonna be hilarious sitting around the fire when everything falls apart.
Yeah. Speaking of cocaine speaking of drugs and bad people, or drugs and whatever. Okay. Meth pipes, chapsticks, boofing, and more.
Oh God.
How Multnomah County spent $84,000 on a suspended program.
I was worried you were going to say something about like the cocaine sharks boofing the blow. And I'm like, I don't even know how that would work. But I mean,
no, but I will, after this episode or after this article, I will transition using the word boofing.
Oh God.
To another article.
That's why do we know it's just a thing that we don't like. Why is that a do not boof, kids. Don't do it.
No.
Boofing, not even once. I don't care what you're boofing. It doesn't matter. It's not a thing.
It's a bad idea.
So
it's just a terrible decision.
So you won't boof the emotional support stripper?
I don't even know how that would work, and I don't really want to know now.
What happens in the trenches stays in the trenches.
I'm sure somebody has a kink for that. I have no doubt. But
there's no atheist in a foxhole. Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking, like, I mean, technically sharks don't really have buttholes. They have cloacas, which is kind of an all-purpose orifice. So I guess, is it boofing at that point if it's a cloaca? I don't know. That's kind of a philosophical debate. The fact that I just uttered that sentence is so troubling.
We are not high enough for this conversation.
Oh, that is.
We need to go swimming.
I need that on a T-shirt now. Is it boofing if it's a cloaca and it's just a shark on it? No explanation, no context.
Hold on. Okay, I saw. Oh, the bad taxidermy group on Facebook.
Yep. Oh, it's so great.
There was a picture posted, and it's a turtle shell, right, with no turtle in it. It's just the shell, and it's standing upright. And there's like 50 plastic straws in it. Like it was a straw container full of plastic straws. So,
or perhaps it was a tiki drink holder. I mean, I drink a tiki drink out of a turtle shell.
Yeah. Okay. The Multnomah County Health Department has released a list breaking down how it spent over $80,000 of taxpayers for a suspended, quote, harm reduction program, including pipes, chapsticks, and an instruction pamphlet on how to boof drugs.
Wait, an instruction pamphlet in how to do it?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. The department announced the much contested
Ugh.
pilot program in July, stating that it had purchased, quote, smoking supplies for drug dealers and would be providing them free of charge for harm reduction purposes. So Multnomah County is on the eastern side of Portland, just for the record.
What harm, pray tell, are you attempting to reduce by giving drug addicts pipes? What are you preventing? Because if you're giving drug addicts clean needles, you're preventing the transmission of actual diseases, right? Because sharing needles causes disease transmission, and that makes sense, right? I get that.
Yes.
What are you preventing?
Hold on.
By giving them pipes.
Hold on. This gets even better. Of course, this gets better.
It always does.
However, this quickly proved controversial, and the public outcry led to the definite suspension of the program before it could begin its intended activities in July. Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson said the decision to suspend the county health department's program was largely over poor communication between agencies and the public. So the program suspension came after the money had already been spent. The $84,000 was leftover money from the county's annual harm reduction budget, which was traditionally been focus of intravenous drugs used by supplying things like clean needles and syringes. Right? Okay, that makes
right.
Okay.
That's a legitimate harm reduction thing. You're going, yes, they're on drugs, and we wish they weren't, and everything. But
yes,
the reality is, if we can prevent hepatitis and AIDS and things from being transmitted, that would be good.
Okay. There is a breakdown of the cost and what they spent the money on. You ready for this? The program drew notoriety in the first place for the idea that be giving away straws and tinfoil to fentanyl users, materials that are indeed reflected in the itemized list: 31,000 straws, notably specific as boba straws, and 90,000 sheets of foil were ordered from Amazon for a combined cost of $9,498.
What the fuck are you doing? Why?
Hold on. But the list shows that the majority of the expenses went toward various types of drug pipes, including 55,404 meth, stem, and bubble pipes that were ordered at the cost of $43,000.
They spent $43,000 on glass sticks.
Yes.
Yep.
$43,000.
They also used the money to order 1,700 cases of chapstick at a cost of $33,107. The county spent $300 on 20,000 chopsticks to be handed out. $80 on 1,000 units of water-based lube. The last item was $5. The MCHD paid for, quote, Educational Materials, which is an illustrated instructional pamphlet on boofing, the insertion of drugs into the anus to get high.
I am clicking the fuck out of that link. I have to. Oh, Jesus, I wish I had not.
Other items on the list include red rubber mouthpieces for pipes, copper scouring pads, vinyl tubing, safety goggles, gloves, and more.
I'm looking at the pamphlet right now, and I'm telling you, you don't want to look at it. Like you may.
Why do you do that? Now I have to look at it. What the fuck am I looking at?
Nope,
don't do it.
Nope,
I'm not telling you not to do it.
And he just clicked on it.
There's a lime green nightmare awaiting you. Don't do it.
Boof it zine PDF.
Look at the image. Look at the image. And you tell me that you don't regret your decision to click that link.
Why is that the shape of a heart?
Right?
Why is the butthole in the shape of a heart?
And it looks like, does that not look like some sort of like carrot or something? Like,
why
like a cut
why does
carrot?
it have testicles? It has testicles.
This is not.
But the testicles.
I think it's an apple. It's supposed to be an apple.
But the testicles are on top.
Right.
And that doesn't match anatomically with the structure of the legs and the feet.
This is a drawing that began as a drawing of like, I think a tomato.
You know, I'm having so much fun just listening to you two go off.
Goodness.
It's
because there's no way in hell. No, I'm not looking. I don't. Nope.
It's not graphic. It's just very confusing.
Yeah, that's why I said I wish I hadn't looked. This is the details of the zine, the Boof It zine. By the way, it says a harm reduction guide for boofing. That is the holy act of putting drugs up your butt. The PDF is formatted for printing on 8.5 by 11-inch paper and not necessarily for reading on your computer. The page is white and the graphics and text are in grayscale. Black and white, for those people who don't know, helpfully spelled out. For instructions on assembling the zine, check out this video, or you can just Google 8-page zine. Note, please do not alter the document's text or design. Additionally, if you're interested in customized zines for your organization, please contact me.
Yes.
You too can have a customized boofing zine with your company's logo helpfully added by the artist. Just what you wanted in time for the holiday season.
I'm just saying that would be a hell of a way to advertise the podcast.
We are in the middle of convention season, so I suppose if you're going to some sort of expo, everyone will remember your company.
Just pass it out at the AVN Awards.
I'm pretty sure they know how to stick things up their butt at the AVNs.
See, now Scott says things like that, and now I'm thinking about a bearded butt plug.
Why?
I don't know why.
What?
I'm not normal.
This entire episode has gone so far off the fucking
I ate a can of tuna earlier. So I'm high. That's what it is.
I was going to say, was it cocaine tuna?
I ate a can of tuna and now I'm high.
The cocaine is fighting with the SSRIs that were in the tuna. So it's just
dude, that's a ride, I'm sure. My God.
Okay, okay, hold on. Can we backtrack on this just a little bit, right? So they spent $80.
Do we really have to backtrack?
Yes, I have to ask a very important question. Right? So they spent $80 on 1,000 units of a water-based lube. Okay, right. That's understandable. But they spent $300 on 20,000 chopsticks.
Why? What are you using them for? You know what? I probably don't want to know. If anyone knows, you don't need to tell me. I actually can go the rest of my life with not understanding why the chopstick. I'm guessing the chapstick is for the people using the glass sticks because
I would assume yes. The chapstick, yes, but 20,000 chopsticks.
$300 on 20,000 chopsticks and $80 on 1,000 units of water-based lube. Just those two things together is already hilarious.
Are those boofing accessories?
Do you use chopsticks? We need $5 for the zine so that we.
I don't.
Possibly more, so we can get it customized with the podcast logo and hand it out.
I have not been swimming enough to deal with this.
Just running through everything that they bought.
Okay, all right.
They bought 31,000 boba straws.
We have confirmation. MN Buckshot says they make the boofing
deeper.
So it's for pushing whatever you're boofing further.
I don't want to know why you know that.
Hopefully they're plastic chopsticks because those slivers are gonna suck.
Oh,
those fancy metal ones.
the light up little lightsaber one.
The lightsaber one when they're glowing. You think they have sound effects? So running through 31,000 boba straws, 90,000 sheets of tin foil. 55,404, which is a weird number, meth stem and bubble pipes, 1,700 cases of chapstick, 20,000 chopsticks, 1,000 units of water-based lube, red rubber mouthpieces for pipes, copper scouring pads, vinyl tubing, safety goggles, and gloves, and $5 on a boofing manual.
Oh.
For a total cost of $84,212.93.
This is your tax dollars put to good use.
And the entire program's also been suspended, thank God, because what harm are you trying to reduce here? Honestly, what harm are you trying to reduce here? We're not talking about intravenous drugs. We're talking about glass pipes, right? Primarily glass pipes, and then the little aluminum foil, and straws.
Yeah. And which the aluminum itself is carcinogenic.
What harm are you reducing here?
I don't.
What harm could you possibly be reducing? Explain to me what things you are hoping by spending $84,000 of taxpayer money on this crap.
They're not necessarily trying to reduce harm. They're trying to reduce carbon. They're trying to reduce the carbon of the drug user.
But I mean, like, they act like it's harm reduction and like it's somehow an articulatable thing.
They're supporting their voter base.
I mean, yeah,
they're keeping themselves in a job. Like this position, that the harm reduction program exists because people are on drugs. You don't actually want to reduce the drug use, right? You just don't want dead people showing up on TV, right? That's why the military stopped showing flag drip caskets, right? Because it reduces the support for the program. Yeah.
I mean, like, so what? They're just trying to keep people like in the privacy of their own homes doing drugs.
Oh no, it's Portland, man. They're all over the street. It's bad.
So again, like what are they? They ordered a ton of that shit from Uline.
I don't know.
Okay, so they ordered, let me look at this order here. So we have, that must be the chopsticks. Chopsticks, chapstick, regular stem pipes, nascent bubble pipes, red rubber mouthpieces. 24,000 red rubber mouthpieces, in fact.
So these numbers are completely not adding up at all.
10 rolls. What is it? 1,200. I don't understand what that is, but they spent $212 on clear vinyl tubing.
Rubber tubing.
$17,500 on copper scouring pads. $4,100 on brass screens, $7,200 on foil,
Oh shit.
$5,600 on boba straws, $10,000 on hammer pipes, $5,400 on another type of bubble pipe, $4,500 on a heavy stem pipe, and then from Uline they ordered 2x5-inch foam pouches, 20,500 of them. 3x5 foam pouches, 24,000 of those, and
foam
then
foam pouches to protect the pipes.
Yeah, and then 2 metal wire racks, paper clips, 21 boxes, 42 boxes of 2x2 bags.
Oh my goodness.
10 bypass pruners.
Bypass pruners?
I don't know what that means. 21 cases of 6x6 bags, 10 face shields.
Is that to protect them from the boofers?
I don't know. 5 pairs of trauma shears, 2 tarps, 15 safety goggles, and 15 boxes of gloves, and a cracked out partridge in a pear tree.
And $5 on a
Did you say those are bypass pruning shears you were talking about?
It says bypass pruners is all it says.
All right. Oh, hang on here.
Plastic straws, plastic cards, white scoops, plastic razors.
Bypass pruners, huh? To cut the tubing, maybe?
Probably.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, to cut the tubing. There 1,000 plastic razors, 1,000 white plastic scoops, 1,000 white plastic cards, whatever that is, and 1,000 plastic straws.
Yeah. Yeah.
The plastic cards, I'm assuming, for forming lines.
Printed educational material. What does that say? Ice barrels? Ice barrels, water-based lube. The 1,000 bottles of water-based lube is only 2 boxes. Just FYI.
Okay.
5 more cases of white plastic scoops. 1,000. They were going to order 1,000 bottles of sterile water, and it says this is on allocation, may come in later.
Yeah. All right.
$90,000.
You know how many emotional support strippers that would have funded?
$90,000? Probably quite a few, or one really, really good one.
I have a ticket for Tuesday night. We'll see.
Do you know the kind of stripper you can buy for $90,000?
So, emotional support stripper. It's medicinal.
It's medicinal. I have a prescription card.
I have a prescription. Sir, that is a full auto AK and an emotional support stripper.
And
there's a shark.
Saturday night.
I got a shark in the passenger seat wearing a bow tie.
Sharks in the passenger seat. Just like, hey man, we gotta go, man.
We gotta go.
It's like wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. He's got a little
bucket hat,
a little suitcase.
Yeah, and bucket hat and orange sunglasses.
Yeah. So, but speaking of boofing, IRS. The IRS says it collected $38 million from more than 175 high-income tax delinquents. Remember how much they spent? How much, Andrew? You remember how much they gave the IRS?
I don't remember offhand how much it was.
For
I do remember
80,000 staff. It was something like $2 billion or something like that, wasn't it?
The White House said in a debt deal, separate agreement, take $20 billion or something like that, right? Something along those lines. Whatever it was.
It was something
24
absurd.
billion. It was 24 billion.
Yeah. Inflation Reduction Act, right?
Yep.
Okay.
To hire 80,000 additional taxmen.
Okay, so they use that to take, to collect $38 million from 175 high-income taxpayers in the last few months.
That's a hell of a return on investment.
Woohoo! Big money.
Yep. So
lots of whammies on that one, apparently. Though.
I mean, this is the equivalent of you like spending your entire life savings of like $100,000 so that you can make absolutely sure that guy who borrowed $200 from you 3 years ago pays up.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're in line for $80 billion, or the IRS is in line for $80 billion, and they got a whopping $38 million.
Well, and it's important to note that like these aren't even like actual tax dodgers either.
No.
Like
no.
One guy, it's like in one case, an individual had used money owed to the government
to buy a Maserati and
buy a Maserati and a Bentley. Way better use of the money.
Yes.
It says, and roughly 100 high-income people tried to get favorable tax treatment through Puerto Rico without meeting certain tax requirements, which just means that they didn't fill out paperwork correctly.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So
these are the people that they're going, woohoo, we're collecting $38 million from people who forgot to check a box.
Yeah. The new tax collection, quote, is an example of the work we expect to continue to focus on with the new IRA funding. That's the Inflation Reduction Act. Inflation Reduction Act.
I was going to say around here, IRA means something completely different.
Yes. So, but I don't want to dig in that article too much because the headline was just enough, and we're running short on time. So we have to get to this other article before we can get to the big one. Okay. Ex-sheriff office staffer fabricated cover-up story after accidentally shooting himself.
What? I'm shocked.
Trying to avoid responsibility.
That a cop would ever lie.
It is hard to actually call him a cop. We'll get into that. Okay. A former sheriff's employee resigned after he fabricated a story to cover up after accidentally shooting himself with his own firearm, and now faces charges stemming from the incident. Dakota Wood, a former telecommunicator with the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, called police on June 30th to report an
dispatch operator Andrew
an attempted carjacking and shooting at Linda Peterson Park. Wood, 21, told officers that, quote, 2 unknown black males attempted to steal his vehicle, and that, quote, the men displayed a firearm and made a threat to kill him before shooting him in the thigh. He then claimed to authorities that the shooter collected the shell casing before fleeing the area on foot. Quote, after the shot, Wood said he obtained his personal firearm and fired approximately 5 rounds in self-defense. Wood further advised he believed he hit one of the suspects several times. Wood was taken to area hospital for treatment of the gunshot wound, where he later admitted to detectives that he made up the entire story. After coming clean, Wood said he was upset over issues he was having with his girlfriend and accidentally shot himself while he was, quote, playing with his firearm inside the vehicle. He told authorities he made up the whole story. He told authorities he made up the story about attempted carjacking because he didn't want to get in trouble.
Well, now you're in fucking trouble.
Well, yeah, now you're in trouble. The last time, though, you would have been like, if you had just admitted it when it first happened, been like, hey, I'm an idiot and I accidentally shot myself. People would have made fun of you, but you wouldn't have gotten in trouble for accidentally shooting yourself. You're just dumb.
Yep.
Yeah,
everybody would have called you a retard and moved on.
He looks like David Hogg. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got the David Hogg vibe.
He's probably sitting in the dispatch center going, defund the police.
Yeah. No. Blah, 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 blah. Damn it. I closed the wrong tab. Okay, I got the right tab. Okay, so We don't need to go into that one anymore, right?
No, that
guy's
one's
an
just
idiot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Complete moron, yet again demonstrating that you can't ever trust police or police adjacent individuals.
Okay. How about some more boofing?
Why?
Why are we boofing?
California Dems can now set wages for private businesses.
What?
California is resurrecting a long defunct commission that allows the state to set wages in certain industries, which experts warn would kill small business franchises. A provision in the budget that Governor Gavin Newsom signed on Monday, so this is a couple Mondays ago, will revive the, quote, Industrial Welfare Commission, a labor regulatory bird that the legislature defunded in 2004. The board, whose 5 members will be appointed by Newsom, will have the power to set wages and hours for fast food restaurants and other franchises. Critics say Democrats are using the commission to push unsustainable minimum wage hikes under the guise of improving workplace conditions.
Oh, yeah, it's really going to improve the workplace conditions when all of these people who you're setting these wages and hours for are suddenly unemployed.
Yes. Yep. Quote, to put it bluntly, the commission could micromanage the operations of every small business franchise in California. That's according to Assemblyman Vince Fong, Republican, told the Washington Free Beacon. Fong, the top Republican in the Assembly Budget Committee, said the provisions, quote, could destroy jobs and businesses in California. Quote, the business climate in California.
That's kind of Newsom's bread and butter is destroying businesses and the economy of California.
Yeah, if you look at this article and you look at the picture of him, like he looks like the kind of person that you instantaneously on seeing him are like, I want to hit you in the face. Yeah. I'm not sure why, but I definitely do.
I bet he boofs. See, the business climate in California was already bad, and this makes it worse. And it's even more possible than to imagine. A combination of regulation and rising crime has driven companies out of the Golden State. More than 350 businesses left California between 2018 and 2021, according to the California Globe. The 127-year-old Anchor Brewing this month joined a growing number of businesses to depart San Francisco. California labor unions in 2004 pushed to defund the original iteration of the Industrial Welfare Commission to stop then Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger from deploying the commission in ways big labor found objectionable. The commission was dead until earlier this year when California Democrats quietly inserted a budget item into reviving the commission. Yes. Opponents say the revival is an attempt to circumvent a referendum blocking the creation of a 10-member board to regulate labor rules for fast food restaurants, nicknamed the Fast Food Council. The legislature approved the new board last August, but a ballot initiative collected more than 1 million signatures, temporarily freezing the law's effects, and put in a proposal to voters 2024. So the revival of the Industrial Welfare Commission circumvents the voters killing the Fast Food Commission.
It's because they knew that they were going to lose, that the Fast Food Commission, when put to the voters, was going to get completely destroyed. And they're like, no, you people, you average city, you don't know how to run your lives and how to run your businesses. We know how to do that.
Rebecca Paxton, research director at the Employment Policies Institute, told the Free Beacon that commission could enact, quote, skyrocketing minimum wage increases. Quote, 30 years of economic research shows that this would reduce employment for fast food workers. It would cause fast food businesses, whether small or larger chains, to close down and even leave California. It's going to limit business opportunities in California, shut down livelihoods for California employees, and make the fast food industry a less competitive place for people to start businesses.
Yep. It's basically just going to set fire to the entire industry.
You know what's going to be hilarious is when every major fast food chain that started in California pulls out of California completely and it no longer has any of them.
And in and out. The law directs the commission to, quote, prioritize industries with more than 10% of workers living below the federal poverty line, which can include a large range of industries at any time. So this would not only fast food, right? So this is going to fuck fast food. It's going to fuck restaurants, but it would also do things like Uber and Lyft, Grubhub, right?
Yep.
Uber Eats, things like that.
Well, DoorDash already is in a fight with California because all of their workers are 1099s.
Yeah, the gig law.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous because it's like, seriously, like the gig thing is not only really good for people who can't find employment lots of other ways, but it's great for people who already have employment but are underpaid to then find that second job to earn that extra money.
Yeah.
Like that's what I do. I do DoorDash on the side to earn extra cash because then I can, like, if I'm going to go do an event or something and I want a bunch of money for it, I got to work 8 hours, make myself $60, and there you go. And that's in a week, like over the course of the week. I can work like 8 hours, like 2 hours here, 2 hours here, 2 hours here, 2 hours here, wind up with $60 for the weekend to that is just for whatever. And I don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, I don't have to work at all for that job. It's freaking great.
The state's Chamber of Commerce, the state's Chamber of Commerce, Restaurant Association, Retailers Association, and other business groups in a joint statement last week denounced the proposal, saying the commission's focus on low-wage industries would, quote, only create unnecessary confusion, create layered burdens on employers, and subject businesses to more frivolous litigations. So it's raising the barrier to entry. Right. Or it's not even the barrier to entry anymore. It's the barrier to participation.
Yeah, they just want to make everything so ungodly ridiculous that it's going to end up it's going to do exactly the opposite of what they claim it's going to do.
Well, yeah, that's
always what happens.
Right. So their stated goal is here, right? But they're going to keep doing it, and they're going to increase what they've been doing in an effort to get the end result, regardless of the consequences. No matter how much the consequences affect the ability to reach that end goal, they're going to keep pushing what they've already been doing because they see it as a path to that end goal.
Well, yeah, and you got to remember that, like, this is when you picture the way Democrats in particular, all government, but Democrats in particular, approach things. It's like that moment in SpongeBob when SpongeBob and Patrick are standing there and the whole city is on fire and everybody's screaming and things are collapsing. Yeah, we did it, Patrick. We saved the city. They will stand on a pile of smoldering ashes and go, "We did it. We raised minimum wage for fast food workers."
The meme or the GIF. This is fine.
Yeah.
Right, with the fire all the way around them. Yeah, this is fine.
Because they don't care what reality is. And if you talk to a lot of their supporters and stuff, you will mention like, yeah, but that isn't how this works. It does this. And their response will always be, but what should happen, they want to govern based on fantasy.
Yes.
Well, not only that, but as with the harm reduction program, right? The worse things get, the more they can say, look, we have the solutions. Look, support us. Look, we're on your side. Look what we're doing. We're going to increase your wages as a McDonald's employee.
Yep.
Right. And then there's a little asterisk right there, and there's like 7,500 side effects of raising that minimum wage working at McDonald's that they don't care about. They won't even mention because they can state that their goal is to move people out of poverty. They can state that their goal is to reduce XYZ, reduce homelessness, reduce all this. But if they did that, say they eliminated poverty, say they eliminated homelessness in California, what would all those homeless advocates do? What would all those the people that run all those programs do? What would all the people that use homelessness or donate to homelessness programs as a tax break, what would they do? All right, all those people are fucked. They're all those people are out of jobs, right? All those people, they don't have a cause anymore, right? It's they don't want to.
It's all about it's all about the cause. It's not about the actual solution.
Yes. They don't want to solve the issue. They want to look like they're solving the issues. And with cancer research, right? Yep. Billions and billions and billions of dollars have gone into cancer research, and they haven't ended cancer.
Yeah.
Right? Because solving cancer ends all those government grants.
When your entire job, when your entire job is to solve a problem, if you ever actually solve that problem, you no longer have a job.
Yes.
Yeah.
So perfect example. This is an absolute perfect example. Okay, so January 6th happened, and there are thousands of people that have been arrested, that have been charged, that have been sentenced in regards to January 6th, right?
Yep.
But they can't find who a bag of cocaine belongs to inside the White House. Right? One of the
Same
most
thing,
video
just
one
like
of in a secure area of the White House.
Well, did you see
just
the,
like
the
they
press
can't
conference?
figure.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's just like they still claim they don't know who leaked the Dobbs decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like if you saw that press conference where that reporter specifically asked what's her face, the press secretary, like quoted that Hunter Biden tweet about I'm sitting here with my father, blah blah blah. You know, when he was negotiating with that Chinese guy, and he asked her point blank, like, doesn't that directly contradict what the position of the administration has been to this point? And she just ends the press conference.
Yeah. Okay. That woman, that I can't remember her name right off the bat. Jean something or other. I read an article about her being 98% effective. 98% of the questions that she was asked, or 98% of the questions since she's come into the position, 98% of the questions she has asked about the Bidens, about the White House, about the administration, she's deflected. She is the most efficient employee in government right now.
Yeah. Because her entire job is just to keep people from questioning the administration. Yes. That's it. She's a pure propagandist. She is the Joseph Goebbels of the Biden administration.
98% effective. Holy shit. But yeah, they don't want to reduce poverty and all that other stuff. They just want to look like it. They want to grandstand on it because that gets them support. You know, they don't want people to rise up. They don't want equity in the end, because if we're all equitable, if we're all equal on as the end result, you know, if we all live in that Harrison Bergeron reality, there's nothing for them to grandstand on. There's no cause for them.
All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
Yes.
And the White House press secretary is Squealer, right? If you've ever read Animal Farm, Squealer.
Yes.
But the thing is, though, too, is like this stuff.
Karine Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, they will happily, like I said, they will happily burn everything to the ground just so that they can say, well, I did the thing that I set out to do.
Yes.
Yep.
It doesn't matter that what they set out to do caused all of these other inevitable consequences that were negative and created all these other negative outcomes. It doesn't matter that happened. It just matters that they can say, I achieved my goal.
Yes. The Industrial Wage Commission. IWC was created in 1913, and for the first 60 years of its existence, its mission was to regulate the wages, hours, and conditions of employment of women and children employed in California. 1913. What happened in 1913, Andrew?
Oh, lots of things, including the creation of the Federal Reserve.
Yes.
And then they threw Andrew fucking Jackson on one of their bills. I mean,
Yep. Yes. So, yeah,
that guy was a horrible piece of shit. Don't get me wrong, but he was right about one thing, and that was that the creation of the Federal Reserve would destroy the United States.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, this is one of those things where, and you'll notice it too when you talk to the people who support these people and support these policies and things, right? If you talk to them and just ask them questions,
yes,
you will find out very quickly that if you go, well, but won't that create higher unemployment for people who are currently working in the fast food industry? And they will, without understanding the horror that it is, that their answer is, go, well, but if it destroys those jobs, then those jobs shouldn't have existed in the first place. They would literally rather
or they'll say, yes, but it lifted these people out of poverty. Look how much more the 40% that are remaining. Look how much more money they make.
Yeah, never mind that the other 60% are further down the chute than anything else.
Yeah, because they don't care, because they redistributed wealth as they saw fit.
Yes.
Because they're communists.
Yes.
Like, blatantly, they're communists. They're authoritarians. They're communists, and that is what they are. Actually, they're not even communists. Let's be honest. Most of those people are not, in fact, communists. Those people are fascists.
Yes. They're not. A communist is for the betterment of all.
Yeah, communism is universal, right? The universal proletariat.
Yeah.
Fascism is an out of many one. We just care about our people that we say that we care about, and everyone else can go get fucked.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. That's what it needs. That's what it comes down to is unemployed fast food workers just need
emotional support
to boof drugs.
Start needing to boof crack pipes.
Yeah, they need to. That's what they just need to. Unemployed fast food workers just need to boof drugs, swim with cocaine sharks, and cuddle with their emotional support strippers.
It just occurred to me. What if the chapstick wasn't for their lips? What if it's not for their lips?
Oh. Oh.
They didn't buy the chapstick for lips.
Why are you walking funny?
Boy, that really chaps my ass.
Oh, God.
God damn it, Andrew.
This is how my brain works. All right. This is.
Just imagine somebody waddling into the ER. Waddling into the ER and just going, yeah, the chapstick got stuck. I lost the chopstick up there.
Oh, well, that's unpleasant. I mean, it is kind of shaped like a suppository, like it's the same shape. So
just excessively long.
Yeah, it's to help with the slivers from the chopsticks. Oh no, I didn't use the unscented. That was Carmex.
See now Katy Perry's Cherry Chapstick song just has a whole new context.
These goddamn Gen Zers.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Millennials got called assholes. Gen Z got obsessed with them.
Yeah. Remember the good old days when you just snort a line off a stripper's ass?
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
Was fine. Yeah.
You know what happened to that is then they arrested Belfour, and that all just went right down the drain.
I don't know. I need an emotional support stripper after this episode.
I would argue, did Jordan Belfour actually do anything wrong? I don't think he really did.
No.
Not really.
No.
Just a real good salesman.
Medicated for your pleasure. God damn it.
Oh, no, that was mentholated.
It's the cool soothing action that makes it feel better.
I mean, it would help on those hot Southern California days. You would feel cooler.
Do they make spicy chapstick?
Probably.
Ghost pepper chapstick.
There is a nearly 100% chance that a Flamin' Hot Cheetos chapstick exists. Let's be honest.
Well, I know I've seen it at the store that they have like Dr. Pepper flavor and things like that.
I'm telling you, there's got to be a Flamin' Hot Cheetos flavored chapstick.
Let's see.
Which is probably, which really is made for the other possible source of lithium if you needed it for battery. Oh.
Fucking seriously, Andrew?
I'm just saying, you get enough of these goth chicks together, you can probably. I'm an awful person and I don't care.
I just, yeah, we're not good people. Motherfucker. I fucking hate you so much, Andrew. I cannot describe how much I hate you. I found it on eBay.
I told you there would be. I knew it.
There is Flamin' Hot Cheetos flavored lip balm, and it comes with a free key, and it comes with a keychain.
I told you there was. There had to be. I knew there had to be.
Oh, I hate you so much. I hate that exists so much.
I knew it. Oh, I knew that there would be. And, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're the kind of chick who wants Flamin' Hot Cheetos lip balm, you should send me a message. Let's hang out.
Oh.
You're my type.
She puts on the Flamin' Hot Cheetos lip balm right before she goes down on you.
I mean, I like spicy things. It could be an interesting experience. I don't know. It's possible. Also, if you also could be a source of lithium for Tesla to make its batteries, also, you're probably my type. You should hit me up. Little unhinged. Yeah, that works.
Sriracha lip balm?
Also for the same chicks. I'm telling you. Because it's not dudes. Let's be honest. It is not dudes buying Flamin' Hot Cheetos and Sriracha lip balms. Okay. It's chicks. And we know what kind of chicks are buying those. Don't even pretend that you don't. You know you do.
Bacon?
You can think of at least 3 of them that you know right now. Guaranteed.
Bacon lip balm?
That's more general purpose.
I mean, I'd use bacon lip balm. I just use bacon grease for lip balm.
Doritos flavored lip balm.
Yep.
Cinnamon fire. Ooh.
There's probably a Mountain Dew one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look that up.
Guaranteed.
Probably not only is there a Mountain Dew one, there's a Mountain Dew Baja Blast one.
Yeah. Ooh, orange Faygo.
Yeah.
And grape.
And
you
grape.
know it exists. And it's probably sold at Dollar General. Let's be honest.
No, Dollar Tree, Andrew.
Is that grape drink flavored? What is that? Should not have said that, but it was going to happen.
It's grape drink, but it's watered down because they got to the end of the container.
Hot lemon.
Oh
my god! Okay. Pumpkin spice.
For all those basic white bitches.
Oh my goodness!
Now I can think of something that I would like to prevent being chapped that I would happily use that on because I know what's going to result from that, and
Pumpkin spice.
nothing but yoga pants and UGG boots everywhere. It's gonna be great. But after I mentioned the Faygo flavors
for the seasonal boofer.
In it at the Dollar Tree. Yep.
Yeah, I believe it.
All right, we only got about 5 minutes left, so we should probably do our
Throw links. Ginger spice moisturizing lip balm.
Like, is it flavored like ginger spice? Because she was hot. I'd put
get
that
you
on
a
my
candle that might be scented like it.
I'd put that on my lips.
Yeah.
If you are a caffeine addict like I am, and we're gonna ignore Andrew right now and all of his weird shit.
If you're a caffeine addict and you're not able to swim with the sharks off the Keys,
but as a caffeine addict, you do not intend to boof the coffee.
I was gonna ask.
No, we do not boof the coffee. Although there are a number of colonics clinics that will do that for you.
I mean, it does seem like a more efficient caffeine delivery system.
But if you like your coffee the old-fashioned way, like made in a coffee pot or even a percolator,
there is a coffee enema Wikipedia page.
There is a coffee enema Wikipedia page. Check out Coffee Brand Coffee. Jeremy from the Quartering started his own coffee company that is non-political. They just make good coffee. And if you don't like coffee, they have tea. If you don't like coffee or tea, they have hot chocolate. Who doesn't like hot chocolate? 4 times a day.
Couple addicted to coffee enemas up to 4 times a day.
Still not enough caffeine in the system. I'd fall asleep.
Mike and Trina swear by their coffee. He enjoys a fine espresso grind, which is, quote, on the cold side. She prefers a, quote, saturated blend that is, quote, warmer and thicker.
Considering the current content of the show, I choose not to mention most of my sponsors. However, so that they're not associated with this in any way. But if you would like to look them up, they are all in our link tree. Feel free to check out our link tree, and there are discount codes that you can use in things. And I am so sorry to all of you who are sponsoring us for this episode. But you should have known what you were getting into. The one I will mention is check out Dave at Poppins Patches.
Because he's in the chat. He knows exactly what he's getting into.
Yeah. He knows what he got into. You have no one to blame but yourself. And this is also your weekly reminder that this show is not intended for children.
To be taken seriously.
Yeah, or to be taken seriously at all. Look, who the hell would take this seriously? If they kept it up to date, I'm sure ginger spice probably tastes like poor decisions and regret.
That is literally our type, bro.
I was gonna
say like poor decisions. No, poor decisions, regret, and low self-esteem. You combine those 3 together, and that is the holy trinity of my type of chick. All right. So
all right, let's get out of here. Let's end this.
Did you ever wonder what the train derailment in Palestine, Ohio was like? You just watched it happen right here for the last 2 hours.
Palestine, in Ohio, the train derailment just south of me by like 20 minutes. Yeah. That one just happened not that long ago.
Yeah. And if you're still listening,
why?
You're welcome.
Apparently, you suffer from bad decisions too.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.